looking at our past as well, like over the last 6-7 years, like we had Fellaini, he was covering that position, and we had like
Yeah.
so I think it's
Come
definitely
a
an
long way,
improvement.
guys.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another East of Stretford podcast. And today we're fucking hype because we just crushed Sheffield United 3-0, and we haven't seen a game like that in a long time. But before we get into that, we have a guest with us today. Arun, how are you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me, man. Thank you. Honor.
Of course, brother. And the regulars, Vishnu and Karthik on. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good,
What's
bro,
up, guys?
good. I got myself some earpods. You didn't see it yet. So,
I didn't see that, dude. You
I don't-
have
yeah.
new equipment every single time. There's something
dude,
new.
I'm upping the game every episode, so we don't
Where are
do
you
it
getting
like.
this shit?
you know,
Where are you getting this shit?
I'm getting it, bro. One by one. I'm telling you. I got my
Well,
own,
dude,
yeah.
enough of Karthik's shit. We're gonna be talking about Sheffield, which was, dude, honestly, we did a live stream last night, and it's late as fuck in India to do a live stream. It went to like 12-1, whatever it was, or 2.
Mm.
It was a brilliant game. Like the passing, the one touch. We finally saw Bruno and Pogba together in the starting lineup, and that was incredible. Martial hat-trick, obviously. And Arun, I want to start with you, man.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think of that game? What did you think about Bruno and Pogba? Enlighten us, dude.
It was the first time under Ole's era that I felt we dominated 100% of the game. Didn't feel like De Gea had to make a save or something. So proper Man United performance. We let Sheffield know that you're not a top tier club. You know what I mean? Before that, we always get, the first leg in Sheffield, 3-3, I think. That was Oli McBurney's last few minutes, third goal. It was crazy, man. It was a proper Man United performance. Reminded me of Sir Alex, that controlling the game, killing them off. They just make them run all the way 90 minutes. It was amazing. Loved it.
It was incredible. It was really incredible. And Vishnu, dude, we're 13 games on the bounce, unbeaten, bro. It's incredible. What did you think of that game?
Yeah, man, I was thrilled actually just to see our boys just completely dominating, like what Arun said. We had our holding positions were very strong. We had great passage play. We were passing the ball a lot. We were going through the middle that we didn't do much against Tottenham. So we saw a lot more link-up plays, and looks like a team's really setting together well. Their chemistry looks really good. They look ready, and I think this is the best side that Ole has put out since becoming the manager. So I think it's great to see Pogba and Bruno start in the same team, which should have happened even in the first game. But it's good to see that we've still got that little urge in us, the urgency in us to claim that fourth place that we truly deserve.
Yeah, dude, I think it was honestly incredible seeing Bruno and Pogba. But Karthik, I think the most important of the game, the man of the match, the ball winner because of the hat trick, dude, Anthony Martial. Have you seen a game like that from him in Manchester United?
Dude, I don't think I've seen a game like that from a striker in a very long time.
That's true.
So it's probably I think the moment Martial scored his hat trick, everyone searched the last time a United striker scored a hat trick. I think it was RB2.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, that was fun. I didn't honestly Martial has always hit the 2-goal mark. I've seen it in games, and then he either gets subbed off earlier or something happens. This time Ollie was just like, what, fuck it, he deserves this. And dude, that hat trick goal, oh my god, that was. It wasn't like just any hat trick goal. Like this goal was phenomenal. It was a season contender. It was fucking amazing.
It was
what a
so
game,
chill.
Guys. Yeah.
What a game, dude. But it was so chill, which was what was crazy for me. Like Rashford waited perfectly to get that ball in, and then a little chip, dude, Martial has mastered the chip like no other.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Karthik.
No, I was just saying everyone was a part of that play, man. And I think that's what I liked the most about yesterday's game. Unlike our other games, you could usually pick out a weak link. Even in the Spurs game, Daniel James was probably very evidently one of our weak links.
Yeah.
Like last game, there wasn't a single weak link we could pick out.
Mm.
Like it was just, I thought everyone did their jobs and played better than that. I mean, not just their jobs, they played fantastic. So yeah, it was
Yeah,
good to see.
I thought everybody did really well. There was definitely no standout people who you would say weren't great.
Yeah.
But Arun, dude,
Yeah.
who did you think, other than Anthony Martial, who did you think were the players that like really impressed you from that game?
Yep. I know that most of the fans will be saying Pogba and Bruno, but for me, it was Matic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it
My
was so,
man.
as I said in the live comment yesterday, it was so calming to see him just passing through the lines and getting the balls from Maguire and Lindelof. The Spurs game, nobody was taking the ball off the defenders. This game, it was Matic to Bruno, Matic to Pogba, Matic to Rashford. Sometimes it was amazing. I mean, Matic was a proper CDM. He is the best CDM we have, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why Scott McTominay might not be playing there alone under Ole because he doesn't trust him enough. Unless we sign someone like NDD or Thomas Partey, I don't see anyone playing that holding role alone except for Matic. He is perfect for that as of now. Yeah.
Vishnu, do you agree with that, man? Do you think Matic is our best CDM? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I think he's doing great, but I don't know if he's
Yeah,
our
look,
best.
I'm a massive fan of McTominay. I actually he just signed a new contract as well,
Yeah.
so which I'm very happy for him. He's one of our academy graduates as well. I think he is the future, and it'll take some time for him to groom to become in that position. But I feel like when McTominay does play, he does play a bit more of a central role than like defensive. Um, there's no doubt. Like I agree with what Arun has said, like because Matic did have probably his best game for United, apart from that Crystal Palace game where he scored that screamer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he played as the perfect holding midfielder. He was like a deep lying. He was playing in a deep lying position in a defensive midfield pivot, and yeah, dude, some like brilliant stats that he had as well. He had 100% like long ball accuracy, 95% pass. He had 8 recoveries and committed 0 fouls, which is quite important to what you have, like what the
Wow.
qualities that they possess in like a defensive midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at our like past as well, like over the last 6-7 years, like we had Fellaini, he was covering that position, and we had like
Yeah.
so I think it's
Come
definitely
a
an
long way,
improvement.
guys.
I would like to
But
add something over there, Vishnu. I
yeah,
was on Scott McTominay. I was lucky enough to speak to BBC Manchester yesterday for 2 minutes about this contract thing on a radio show, and we kind of agreed that he would be the next Darren Fletcher kind of guy, not in the starting 11 all the time, but he gets
yeah.
the club, he gets the fans, he's Man United through and through. We love him no matter what, but it would be tough for him to replace Matic this season. Probably next season if we don't sign anyone. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
this season Matic has it locked down, and maybe even Fred, you have a little bit ahead of Scotty. I know your face there, but I just love Fred, and I was very
Love Fred,
surprised
yeah.
he didn't play yesterday.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
for me he's been incredible, and I think Scott McTominay is someone who works his ass off. Like if you saw in Ole's press conference after the game, they were doing it by the field, and you see Scott McTominay doing sprints
Scotland
Yeah,
down
just
the.
yeah,
That was awesome to see. He's an
Yeah.
absolute beast. What's your take on that, Karthik? Like, who would you play?
um at CDM. I mean, dude, I don't know. Like, I think Matic, like he said, like I think he was definitely a stand-up player yesterday, and no one really talks about it as much. So, I think definitely a big shout out to Matic. But like I said, man, like I think right now, like we've solved like a major depth issue that we once had. Now we have choices, which I don't think is such a bad thing. So, like even with Fred, I don't think Fred is the strongest CDM, but he's a talented player. So, maybe he is more of a second half player, which is what I was pretty surprised that he didn't come on yesterday. But then
Mhm.
again, like we were 3-0 up, we were pretty comfortable. I guess I can see why Ollie didn't bring him on. Maybe give Ferreira a chance. And, Daniel James, maybe it was a good game to probably work on his confidence. But agreed, like not much happened after the second team came on. But
Ye-
yeah, for me, I think having both Scotty and Matic in the team right now is a great thing. Anyways, Matic is probably gonna, maybe he's got like maybe 2-3 years left at max with the
Max.
club, is what I feel.
Mhm.
At max, really stretching it. But and then we need someone,
yeah.
who can fill that role. And Matic, I think, just needed some quality in front of him, and he's so much more comfortable now that he knows that okay, this is what I just have to make sure I hold the central defense line or whatever, the midfield line, and which he did perfectly yesterday. And you saw him even going up front when he needed to. None of the players were like hesitant or it's not like they didn't know what to do next with the ball. Everyone was. It was a great game, dude. Like we looked like a top four worthy team.
Yeah.
Like
Dude, yeah, we definitely looked like a top four team. And I think the other big talking point from the game is that Pogba in his first start after, so many months he came back and I thought he was really good. He had a little dink pass to Rashford at the start, which Rashford should have scored on a volley. That was beautiful, man. And we have two people in Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba who can play absolutely insane football. The one touches, everything was brilliant. Arun, what did you think about that partnership? Do you think that this can potentially be the next Man United great midfield?
Yes, it will be, but not for a long time. Pogba will leave after 1 year eventually, for sure.
You think so?
I'm definitely sure. Yeah. And I don't blame him, man. But
you're saying one more season with
one
Pogba,
more season.
or
One more season of Pogba because nobody have enough money to buy him, and during Corona.
Okay.
So he will be staying one more season, and it's amazing partnership. This is the standard that we have raised from Andres Pereira and Lingard to Bruno and Pogba. And Pogba after 9 months, it's amazing. And I think Pogba would be much better a bit up front, like switching the play between Bruno and him, because if you noticed last night he was playing a bit deeper, Bruno was a bit forward.
Yeah.
But still, Pogba created more chances than Bruno. So imagine if he's playing as the number 10 and Bruno as number 8. I think they can switch it around and it would be perfect. Perfect.
I think it'll be fluid. I think there won't be any one fixed thing, but just the touches between those two boys were insane. So it's awesome to have him back, and I think for the next 8 games we are looking very strong. But Vishnu, I want to close up on this game against Sheffield. First of all, I do want to say that they were missing their goalkeeper Dean Henderson, which is also our goalkeeper. Yeah. And they were missing their center back. Seriously, because their sub goalkeepers sucked. And they're missing a center back because of a red card. So they were weakened and they've been not performing, but we all played well. But who do you think, other than the ones we've talked about, Vishnu, that put in a really good shift?
We have to definitely mention our little phenom, that is Mason Greenwood. This guy needs to start more games. I think we need to make that out as a bold statement, as far as it can be heard. Hashtag start Greenwood every game, because Daniel James does not cut it right now. Greenwood's just phenomenal with the ball, dude. Like his presence, I think in the first 15-20 minutes, you could just see him holding back a little bit. He's not really exploring that final third as much as like Martial and Rashford were doing. But that's actually completely okay, because once like the defenders were used to Martial and Rashford, here comes Greenwood with like a surprise package who can score in both feet, dribbling down on either side. You don't know when he's going to kick the ball, dude. Yeah. You don't know when he's going to take a shot. And it's so hard to predict that. And that's such a powerful weapon that we have as a United team. And like, I think we discussed this in our live stream as well. Like, these three have the potential to be the, Premier League's best forwards, and even like Man United's 3 best forwards since the era of Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez. Wow. So I think it's that would be like wonderful to see. And Greenwood has just been spectacular, dude. Like his ability to just create chances and his ability to just like take on the defenders and sort of push them back, so that he creates this sort of bubble of space for even the midfielders like Bruno to launch a shot outside the box, or like Pogba to take like a screamer, like all that little slick move that he did, like to nutmeg a player and then go down 2-3 more other players before Martial skied it.
Martial skied the fuck out of that.
I was like, why?
Yeah, I don't know why he took it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think Greenwood's got like great potential. I'm very happy to see that he's starting games now, and this is the team that we've always wanted, and I hope that Ole sticks to this team in the upcoming matches.
Yeah, I agree. And Karthik, I want to come to you here. I think, Marcus Rashford had a relatively quiet game, even though he had 2 assists. You just didn't feel him in the game as much. He missed in kind of, you and I thought that it wasn't his fault, it was Martial's fault.
Yeah.
But talk about Rashford, man. He's a little bit slower out of the gate than we hoped.
Yeah, he's looking a little rusty, dude. So for sure. I mean, even the last game against Tottenham, I think it's just his finishing. I think everything else, he's still. It doesn't even seem like a matter of confidence. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit, but the passes he played to Martial and stuff were his assists were on point. Both of them. So I don't know. I just think he just needs to work on his finishing touch a little bit more now. I think he's just lost that bit because of, I guess, the rest and everything. And dude, the kid is packed with so much talent that I guess like he's slowly trying to get everything back. So I just think he needs some. I think next game we might see a much more stronger Rashford, and he's getting there. You can see it slowly improving. Like he was getting in more dangerous spots. And I do feel that was also Martial's fault. That pass, I don't think it was
Yeah,
required,
dude.
or it was just
Yeah.
it was too late for me personally, or yeah, it was just bad timing for me. I think Martial should have taken that shot, but oh well. But anyway, Martial was great too. No hate for Tony. I love Tony.
Cannot, bro.
Yeah, I cannot
Dude, I have
cannot hate on
Rashford.
Tony now.
I have Rashford in my fantasy team, man. And then
Oh,
he,
fuck.
I've got these 2 assists from him, but I didn't get a goal from him, which I'm very
Yeah.
expecting. So I might have to swap him out for Martial
He'll
now.
come. I think
No,
he
but
just needs one of those free kicks again, bro. Like he just
yeah,
needs to bang one
definitely,
in
dude.
from
And
like
the great stat is now
40 yards.
Martial and Rashford both have 14 goals this
Ooh,
season for
yeah.
us. And Martial's Martial's level has just improved, man. I think since he's joined United, I think in 2016-17, he's gone from scoring 4 goals in 25 games to 9 goals in 30 games to now 14 goals in just 25 games.
Yeah.
So there's a constant improvement in the way he's his finishing abilities are. And I really think that with Bruno and Pogba just feeding the ball to these two, I think we're going to see a lot more goals from these two guys. Yeah,
We're going
including
to.
Rashford.
And Wan-Bissaka had an assist, which was cool. And I think actually Martial and Rashford in all competitions are also 19. They're also level in all competitions. So we have a potent attacking force. And I just think that there's just so much to look forward to. And my favorite part of the game was after the game when Tony Martial is just sitting on the bench with a huge
Smiling.
smile on his face.
He couldn't hide it, dude. He tried so much. He was like, "No, man, I'm just gonna give in. I'm just gonna give in."
Dude, even in the post-match press
My
conferences, he couldn't help but smile. And it's awesome to see.
Oh, man.
It's awesome to see. But, that brings us to, I think, we had a great game. That's one down and 7 left to go in the Premier League. But another one that's coming up, Arun, is we're playing Norwich in the FA Cup. It's the quarterfinals, I believe.
Yeah.
And is it a big game? Should we be playing our starting 11 against Norwich, or should we just be putting people to rest to make sure that we're there for the Premier League?
Yeah. My opinion, I couldn't care less. I don't want the FA Cup. So I'll make wholesale all 11 changes because it's just a waste of time for me. Really, because we have 8 games in the next few days to finish to get a top 4, which I believe we will get top 3 or top 4 because Leicester will fall out. My opinion. Can get smashed in the comments. I don't care. But yeah, we are right now 6 points behind Leicester. But for me, it's only 3 points because we're playing them last of the tournament.
Yeah.
Confident.
Yo, that was my prediction.
So
remember this.
Quote
That
of
was
the
my
day.
prediction.
Quote of the day.
So
I
we
said
are
United is
just 3
going to
points.
beat. Sorry, just to interrupt real quick. I said United is going to beat Leicester in the final game, and because Chelsea are playing Wolves as well in that final game. So anything could happen, and they're playing Liverpool the week before.
Yes.
So there's 6 points that Chelsea could drop whenever they can. And I said that United's going to beat Leicester in the final game, and we're going to clinch that top 4.
I hope so.
So let's make it happen.
Yeah. So Arman, I would make changes, man. All 11. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I'd make all 11 changes because I still, dude, for me, we grew up on the FA Cup, being a Man United fan since like being a little boy, dude. I've loved the FA Cup. We've had some huge wins, and the last one was Lingard scoring that beauty,
Oh, yeah.
where LVG lost his job.
Yeah.
So, dude, like something about it, I feel like also if you win a trophy, this is kind of like what Pep Guardiola and Mourinho do. They like to win these little shitty small trophies, which unfortunately the FA Cup has become, just to like build confidence. And I think if we play at a final at Wembley, it builds confidence for the boys. It does make them more tired, to be fair, and it doesn't mean anything.
If we win the Norwich game, we will be in the Wembley for semi-finals, which we will beat for sure. But I would rather prefer the Europa League more than FA Cup, to be honest.
Oh, for sure.
So, they rest the players, keep them fit, because look at Arsenal. They are banter FC. They've lost every every big player possible except for Aubameyang right now. They're getting injured left, right, center. So I don't want. Yesterday, Bruno got hit in the knee. I was like, "Fuck no."
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was scary.
So I just want to just calm down, go for Premier League and Europa. For me, yeah.
I feel you. Vishnu, dude. So Norwich have been absolute shit. Even right before the break and coming after the break, they've not been good. And I think that a second team of Man United should be able to put in a job against Norwich. What do you think, man? What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to play a bit more on the chemistry building between Pogba and Bruno. So ideally, I would like them to start, but I do understand, like, from the point of view that injuries it can happen anytime, and especially with Pogba, because like when he did return, he just took him one game to get injured again. So like to avoid that, because our interest should lie in finishing the top four and even clinching the Europa League. So I would definitely rest both these guys in at the end of the day, and because the FA Cup doesn't really matter, honestly, it doesn't. It'll be a nice little first trophy for Ole if he does win it. But also, I'd love for us to progress and beat City for the fourth time this year. So let's do that, because I would love to see that happen.
Yes.
But I still think like the likes of Igalo, the likes of Scotty McTominay, Brandon Williams, Romero.
Fred. Yeah.
Oh, Fred, of course, yeah.
Good team.
And all these guys, I think Mata might even start. Pereira might start as well.
Lingard.
So maybe Lingard as well.
Yeah.
I don't know where Lingard has been. He's not even. I didn't see him on the bench. Was he on the bench last night?
No, he was on the bench against Spurs. So I think Ole is fancying either Lingard or Andres once as a bench in each game. So yes, last night was Pereira's chance.
He's keeping it civil. Like, you know what? All right, I'll show you some respect because you guys have been here for a long time.
Lingard deserves more respect. I think he's not he hasn't been great, but like, dude, he's had some big moments. He started at the World Cup for England, got them to semifinals. Karthik, dude, what do you do? Let's wrap up here, man. What do you do against Norwich? Is this game important for you, bro?
I mean, FA Cup is low priority right now for sure. I think with everything that we have ahead of us, and I think it's more so because of the format of the game. Format of the rest of the season. I think that's important as well because the games are so close to each other, and I do think there's going to be a significant change. I don't know if it's going to be all 11 player change, but I do think there's going to be I see Fred playing this game. I see Scotty getting a chance, and these are like good.
Good players.
Good second team players. And I think it's a great chance for us to also work on our second team chemistry, man. I think, we could use these players, as they build up their confidence. And I think Fergie used to do this a lot as well. We had such a balanced first and second team that I think we need to, Ollie, I think this is a good chance for Ollie to, try and work on the chemistry on a second team. And not worry too much. If we don't it would be nice to get an FA Cup because it's been a while since we're one silverware, so it would be nice. But I think we are very much in contention for the Europa League as well. Still, I think for even if we lose the FA Cup, I wouldn't be that disappointed. So but I do let's just keep the winning streak, man. Even if it's whatever, So I don't think it's gonna be a complete change. I think there's gonna be 5-6 players for sure. I don't want Daniel James to start though.
He will, bro. He will.
He
I
will
think you
start.
I think you'll get a go. Yeah.
He'll probably get a start this
I think
time.
What's
him and
your-
Romero are confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Romero
score as
deserves.
well?
I
I'm
have
feeling he
fuck yeah.
scores
I mean, but
He could score. He scored
he
against
could.
Lask in the Europa League. But Arun, I don't know if you know this, but like we love Daniel James as a person, but we
Yeah.
fucking hate on him on this podcast because
Yeah.
we just think
Same
that
here.
he's not good enough, dude.
This season, I'm surprised that we actually paid to get him play for Manchester United. You know what I mean? I mean,
Arun is harsh as fuck.
no, bro.
dude.
Look at
Slam
Greenwood.
dunk.
Look at Greenwood. He doesn't lose the ball. Look at Greenwood. Doesn't lose the ball.
Yeah,
Look at Mata. Doesn't
100%.
lose the ball.
Yeah.
He is. I don't know, man. I think if we get Sancho, I think it's bye for him.
Yeah, I think the loan
Yeah.
thing would actually happen if we get Sancho, which we also do mention in every episode.
I hope
But
so.
yeah,
Every episode till today.
every episode.
we
It's
have
it's
that.
hair and Sancho.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
champagne
yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Well, boys.
Any prediction? Any prediction, guys?
Oh yeah,
Score
good
predictions.
point.
Yeah.
What do you think, Arun?
2-0, Man United.
2-0?
Hmm.
Vishnu, what do you think?
I think it's gonna be. I think we gonna put up like a big show again. Because at the end of the day, we still have 5 subs, right? I think that's applicable for the FA Cup as well.
Yeah.
So if things aren't going away in the first half, like bring on 5, like a
Yeah.
5% change, like what
Definitely.
Ole did last game. So why not?
Exactly.
And
Why
like
not?
from coming off our bench would be Bruno, Pogba, Rashford,
Exactly.
Martial, Greenwood. So yeah, let's
Scary.
make it big. I think this will be like a tune-up game for us, which it should be. Like we should win by a comfortable margin, so that they'll get a lot more confidence riding into the next game. I think it's against Brighton away. So yeah, I think 3-0. Let's say 3-0.
Nice. And Karthik, your homie has been coming in and out of the door behind you.
Yeah, I know. He's been.
Very
He's been
Oh
running
shit,
out.
dude! I didn't know you got a ponytail. Have you been doing that,
Yeah.
or is that today?
I just started tying it, dude, because otherwise it just. Wow, yeah, more hair talk. So
More hair talk, dude. We can't go an episode without hair.
Yeah, just
We can't go so-
literally just went straight to hair. Like it said no. I don't even know where it came from, but okay.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think 3-0, bro. 3-0 hands down.
I see a
I think it's
2-0.
gonna be-
I see a 2-0. I
Yeah,
think.
Hey, let's
thinking.
say it differently, because let's have a competition among ourselves. Let's see who scores the correct one in the points table.
Yeah,
Karthik,
dude.
get your own fucking score.
Yeah.
Copying the stats guru.
But dude, I agree with that.
All
I think
right,
let's
so-
keep track of who actually gets it right. Last game I got it right.
This is a funny
Even I
story.
got it right last game. Right.
In our Instagram, so there's been like we've been trying to engage with a lot of our people who we follow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I went around predicting different scores in all different, like the people who kept asking, hoping one of them would come true, and it did yesterday. So some guy, I posted 3-0 at some guy, and I got a lot of praise for that. Like, whoa, what great predictions! I got put on an Insta story, and I'm just like, I'm sitting down
Wow.
here looking. Oh, it was great.
God.
Good shit.
But yeah.
Good shit.
What do you
But
think,
boys,
Karthik? Are you gonna change your score? Or are you sticking to it?
I mean, dude, okay, 4-0. Fuck it.
4-0. Fuck it.
4-0.
Go big. Go.
Yeah, do it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
go big. 4-0. Another 4-0 at Norwich. Let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I've been trying to end this podcast for the last few times, but Vishnu's been interrupting me.
My
So,
bad, yeah.
everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this next episode of the East of Stretford podcast. Be sure to keep tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. We're putting out hot content every single day, except we missed today, and that was on me because I forgot to post it. But yeah, make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to be putting out podcasts every single week and doing lives for as many games as we can possible. So stay tuned for that. See you guys in the next one. And by the way, Arun, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks a lot, man.
Good chat. Good
This is
chat.
great.
Thank you, man.